In Rome, as you can imagine, it's just, it's got a lot of history and, good food, good places to go visit with the missus, good weather. And no, I'm enjoying it. It's good.
How's it compared to London?
Oh, the weather's, we don't know around it, but no, it's good. It's good. It's good to experience something new, something different.
Of course. Well, talk to me. I mean, listen, 15 goals in Serie A this season. You're absolutely flying. What is the secret? You've gone there. A lot of people have spoke about Serie A being quite a defensive league. You've gone there, you're scoring goals. I mean, what's changed for you?
Good question. I don't feel like much has changed. From a young kid, I've always scored goals. I've always wanted to score goals. I think that's what drives me on. I think every challenge I experience and go through, I always want to prove people wrong or prove myself, to show myself that I'm capable of doing many things. And, one big challenge was to move to Italy, to play in Serie A, a league and country I've never been in before. And, for me, I did take a while to hit the ground running. Then saying that I scored in my first, I think, third game or something like that. And from there, it was just, learning about the league, learning about teams and different players and, how they play and how defensively good they are. And, for me, it was just about finding, different aspects to my game and finding ways to score like you done in many years.
Do you know what? And you're funny you said that because I first came across you at Bristol City, where you've obviously had a prolific season. You were smashing goals in left, right, and centre. But as you said there, it almost seems like every time you're asked to step up, you score goals at Bristol City, probably didn't get the opportunities at Swansea because they didn't play to your strengths, in my opinion. You then go to Aston Villa, you score goals at Aston Villa. You get to Chelsea's first team, score goals there. Mm-hmm. It's almost like you said there, when you step up, when you get up, people ask questions of you, you always seem to step up. Is that the mentality? Is that someone close to you that's instilled that belief into you?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just the way I've been brought up, by my parents, especially growing up in South London, you're taught to fight for everything, it doesn't come easy. And for me, I have the mentality of wherever I am, I just want to do my best. I want to show everyone what I'm truly made of. And, luckily for me, I'm proving it. I've been proving it. But it's nice to see that, when you're doing well, people are taking notice. And I think now, my goals, my performances are really making noise for me.
I've always wondered, you set goal targets? Because I look for obviously your stats and I've known them for a while because I like to look at obviously young up and coming strikers, but 26, I think is your best ever. You're only 3 away from that already. Do you set goal tallies at the start of every season?
Not really. I feel like my challenge is always to better what I did the year before, so not talking about the season I just passed with Chelsea where I didn't really play much, but, compared to Aston Villa's 26 goals, I know I'm close and, I just want to score as much goals as possible. I never set myself a limit or a target. I just want to score and enjoy my football.
Of course. And talk to me about Mourinho. I mean, obviously, he's played a big part. I think I've read an interview the other day where a lot of people are giving you a lot of praise, and rightly so, but he says that's wrong because he expects so much more from you and he knows what you're capable of. I mean, talk to me, what's he like and what kind of inspiration and what belief is he giving you?
I feel like I've been asked this question so many times. Mourinho he's a character that we all know. There's a reason why I call him the best manager in the world. He knows how to drive you. He knows how to get under your skin and he knows how to make you feel like you're a very special player at times, and, he will never tell you, but for me, it's just about, I always want to do my best for him. I always want to do my best. He pushes me to do my best. Even when I feel like I've done enough, he tells me I need to do more. And, for me, I experienced him once when I was at Chelsea, when I was a little kid. I went to train with the first team and, he was always hard on me. He was always pushing me to bet on myself. And, I feel like I'll do something right, but he'll tell me to do it better. Just little things like that. And for me, that's exactly what I needed, that push, that drive, especially after having, the season I had, which was difficult at Chelsea. Wasn't playing, wasn't getting much game time. to come here, to have a manager to push you, to believe in you, a coach like Mourinho to believe in you, only gives you more confidence.
Hi, Tammy. Thanks for doing this. Presumably, you had the option to remain in England when you left Chelsea. Was the Mourinho factor the deciding factor? Was that what made up your mind to go and try yourself in Italy?
I'll say it. Yeah, it was a factor involved. Yes. Of course, young English lad, I wanted to stay in England. At the time, I wanted to stay in England. I remember when Rome came along, and Atalanta and many teams around the world came along, and I was telling myself, no, I want to stay in the Premier League. I want to prove myself. I have something to prove. But my dad and my parents kind of sat me down, and my agents, sat me down and said, of course, you've scored goals at Chelsea, you've scored goals at Swansea, you've scored goals in the English league. Go and test the waters, go and experience life abroad. And, when they were speaking, it kind of dawned on me like, yeah, not many players can say they've gone out in Italy and Serie A and to a team like Rome and, done well or experienced the life abroad. And, for me, I never back down from a challenge. So when this challenge came along, I thought, I'm still young. This is the best time for me to go and do it,
And how much have you immersed yourself in Italian life? Have you started to learn the language? Obviously, Italians are renowned for their food. Do you enjoy what's on offer there in that respect over there?
I'm using this time to take in as much as possible. I'm learning the language. I'm hoping that, within a couple of months, I'll speak fluently because I'm not doing too bad. I can understand most things they say. And, for me, it's just, embracing the culture, embracing different life. I spent 23 years of my life in England, in London. So it's always nice to come away and learn something new.
I've got to ask you, before you got there, now we know another one of your good friends is over there, Fikayo Tomori, who's been absolutely sensational this season. Before you made the move, did you get on the phone to him? Did you speak to him about what Italy was like? And as I said, he's gone over there and he looks like again, he's like you. He looks like he's been playing in Serie A for years. I mean, has he helped you kind of settle in as well?
When he heard the news, he called me every day. When he heard the news out, he called me every day. He said, yeah, Tam, come to Italy. It's good experience, bro. You'll love the football. You'll love life in Italy. And, at the time I'm thinking, yeah, he's just saying them words just to get me into Italy. But, I've come here and everything he said is true. I'm enjoying it. Of course, it's not the Premier League, it's a different league, but what an experience, to probably when I retire, I'll look back at this moment and treasure these kind of moments that, I lived in Italy for part of my life and played in Serie A, I've done well. And, it's something that I need to keep striving for and pushing myself to do better.
Is that something you'd recommend as well? Because you look at some of the guys who've gone abroad, you look at the likes of Jadon Sancho, you look at Tomori, as you said there, now you're doing it. Someone who's maybe moved in the Premier League but hasn't gone to plan, but we know there's a player there is Dele Alli. Now, we know you've seen him before. You know him well. You know he's got all the ability in the world to do well. Hasn't quite worked for him so far at Everton. Would you recommend that be a possibility for him? Because moving abroad might be the catalyst that springboards his career again?
I feel like, people shouldn't be afraid to move abroad or to move away. They say the Premier League's the best league in the world. Of course, it's got top quality, but, don't knock down different leagues because these leagues they're not easy. Coming to Serie A, I never thought it'd be easy, but coming to experience life away has probably been the best thing I've ever done. For me, I don't know, it kind of gives you that confidence to see different culture, the way people engrave football in their skin. It's especially at Rome, like, you guys need to come and watch a match. It's just the fans are just so passionate. And
any free tickets? Any free tickets?
Whenever you're ready. I'm coming. Oh, life abroad and experience different life. It's amazing. So I recommend players shouldn't be afraid to move out of their comfort zone and, learn. There's a bigger world out there than just, England.
We're speaking to you on the back of an international break. You would have been in the England squad, obviously had to pull out. We've had the World Cup draw now. It's all starting to get very real for Qatar. Yeah. How much conversation do you have with Gareth Southgate? Does he keep in touch with you on the phone? How does that work with an English player playing abroad?
Yeah, no, of course. He did send me a message, prior to the international break. He said, I think he watched my Lazio game where he was telling me he loved the way I played, he loved how passionate I was. And, just I need to carry on with that, that mentality, the hunger, etc. And, it's nice to know that you're being acknowledged, even playing away from England, with you guys telling me some of the stats I didn't even know myself. But, just make my football do the talking is the most important thing. And like I said, just come off the back of something difficult. And, now I'm coming through stronger and learning different things, and just have to keep pushing myself and keep making noise where I am.
And because of those stats that Benty's alluded to, there's been stories in the papers this week that maybe clubs in the Premier League are going to try and get you back in the summer. What does the future hold for Tammy Abraham? Do you see yourself coming back to the Premier League at some point? Do you think you have unfinished business here?
For me, I've always been a player, growing up, watching Premier Leagues, watching football, when I hear about different teams interested in certain players, I'm just, wow, I want that to be me one day. And, I'm sitting in bed one day, I'm on my phone, I'm seeing on Instagram, Tammy's linked with so-and-so and all sorts. And, as a player, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel like you're doing something right. And for me, it's a nice feeling being linked and seeing, your name all over newspapers, etc. But for me, it's just about doing my business here, focusing on doing my business here so I can keep getting the links with many clubs and, talks all over the place. But who knows what the future holds, Of course, I grew up in England. I'm a London boy. So, maybe one day I'll be back in the Premier League to, make noise there as well. But for me right now, it's just to focus on Rome, focus on doing the best I can and hopefully winning these guys a trophy, which they haven't won in many years.
And your old club, Chelsea, it's been a turbulent time for them, obviously, with the situation involving the owner there. I take it you're still in touch with some of your old teammates. Anybody in particular that you speak to on a regular basis, and how are they coping with what's happening at Stamford Bridge?
Of course, I grew up with many of them. So, you can never lose that contact. We even have a group chat, where we keep each other posted. We make banner in the group chat, the likes of Mason, Callum, Christian Pulisic, and many more. Some people will kill me that I didn't mention the names, but, Reece James, etc. But no, it's nice that I always keep track on the boys, see how well they're doing, and vice versa, they do the same. After a good game or a bad game, we say encouraging words and, we keep in touch.
I love that. And what is the ambition then, Tam, for the rest of the season? I think you touched on it there. You said about trying to win Roma a trophy, which I get. But also, there's got to be an eye on that World Cup squad. And I don't know if you were like me when I was playing, but whenever I've done well scoring goals, I'd always be looking at other centre-forwards, British centre-forwards, to say, well, has he scored that week? Well, I might be in front of him. Is that what you're still doing now?
Of course. Of course, it's just a striker's instinct, when you score, you don't score, you're always checking, always checking if other strikers scores, etc. I even do it in the Serie A. If I don't score one game, I'm checking BBC to see who the top goal scorer is. But, I think these are the kind of things that drives you as a striker. You'd like to see other players, especially the English strikers, doing well. Harry Kane's picked up form, scoring goals now as well. And, Calvert-Lewin's back playing as well. Ollie Watkins is doing well as well. So, for me, it's inspiring to see other players doing well, because it pushes you that you want to do better. And for me, that's the mentality I have. If players are doing good or doing bad, I want to do better. I always better myself. So for me, my competition is myself. If I don't score one game and if I don't play well, then, I can't sleep at night. You can ask my missus. I don't sleep. But, vice versa, if I miss a chance to still score, I'm still angry because I want to score more. But, kind of things that drive me.
Well, listen, Tammy, I really appreciate your time, man. And listen, good luck for the rest of the season. I hope you win the Golden Boot. I hope you bring Roma a trophy. And most importantly, really, I hope you get yourself in the England squad, because I think you deserve it. But thanks for coming on.